want to take a moment and go back to the basics, because I believe over the last 4 or 5 years, there's really been a lot of gun buying frenzy, call it a frenzy. There's more guns sold over the last 4 years than any 4 years prior to that in the history of guns. And there's millions and millions of new gun owners out there, and not just the number of guns that people bought, not just the number of new gun owners, but when you also put that together with the sheer volume of variety of guns there are these days, we live in a world where if I want a concealed carry gun, I have literally thousands of options. If I want a hunting rifle, I have thousands of options. So I want to kind of take us back to the basics. This really the idea that when people went out and bought guns, if they're a new gun owner, especially, and they just bought one gun, they probably took some advice, or they didn't know what to buy, and they probably bought just what looked the coolest to them, or, you know, you kind of look, you know how it goes when you're looking through a gun case, you're like, oh, that one, let me check that one out, whatever, for whatever reason. So I want to take a moment and just kind of take us back to the basics, because I believe there's one gun that everybody should have. Everybody should have this gun. If you went out and you bought this gun, great, you're good. But if you don't have this gun, you need this gun. I strongly believe it. So I'll start with what I'm talking about is a home defense shotgun. And I say that because it's the ultimate home defense weapon. And I just guess I'm going to just put that out there. And I've many years ago, I did a video about what's the best home defense weapon, and it is hands down a shotgun. I remember asking a friend of mine who moved into a really terrible neighborhood with his family right away. I was like, oh, do you have a gun? And he said, yes, I have a shotgun. And right away I thought, oh, you'll do great. Like, you will do great. Anybody that comes into your house, you're going to do great. I believe that a shotgun is a necessary tool. It is a very necessary weapon. And kind of like any other style of gun, there's a large variety of types you can get. And I say this is a critical tool because I believe everybody should have one. Strongly believe that every American home should have a shotgun in that home, protecting that home. And you'll do great with that. If that's your only gun in the world, you'll do great with it. Now, the downfall of it being your only gun in the world is if you only owned one gun, I would definitely not recommend a shotgun. I'd recommend a concealed carry gun. So with that aside, let's assume you already have that gun, the concealed carry gun. You need a shotgun. If you went out in the world, like if you said, hey, I want to buy my first gun, and people gave you a recommendation, hopefully they steered you towards a handgun. Because if you have one gun, that should be it. It's a multi-purpose tool. It's the Swiss Army knife. You can carry it with you in the world. And when you're worried about two-legged predators, you can carry it in the wilderness if you're worried about four-legged predators as well as two-legged predators. You could have it as a home defense weapon. But most people would argue a handgun is what you use to get to the shotgun. And that's why I believe a shotgun is a necessary gun. If all you own is a handgun, I believe you need to go out and you need to buy a shotgun this weekend. I believe it's incredibly important that you have one, because I can assure you that if you're defending your home, it's the best thing you got. In addition to that, it also serves kind of as a multi-tool as well, because not only can it defend your home, but like my home defense shotgun, I use it to hunt with as well. Because of the variety of shells you can put in a 12, and I'm talking about a 12 gauge shotgun too, by the way, not a 410 or, a 12 gauge home defense shotgun. You can put in different shells. You can hunt squirrel, you can hunt deer, you could have just a one single ball in there that could tear a hole through something, and or you could rotate every other round to have scatter shot versus buckshot. Like, it's an incredible tool that I think everybody needs one in their home. And that's really what this video is I strongly believe that our American homes would be more secure, and there'd be a lot less break-ins and home invasions if people had shotguns that they were using as their home defense weapons. I strongly believe that. You're going to outgun whoever you're up against if you have a home defense shotgun. And there is, you could, between the Mossberg 500 series and the Remington 870 series, those are two of the most sold guns in the world. Like, period. Like, not just shotguns, but guns in the world. And both of those are incredibly affordable, high quality, pump action shotguns. The home defense shotgun I use is a semi-automatic shotgun, but, honestly, even something like a little Shockwave, that's a great home defense shotgun. There's a lot of variety of shotguns you can get out there, but I strongly believe every home in America needs a shotgun, period. And, if you went out and that's your only, if that's your only gun is a shotgun, that is great. Now I got another video that's going to tell you to get a handgun, but, that's another video. But you need a shotgun. And I guess all I'm saying is if you have a shotgun, just check that tool off your list. If you don't, it's a necessary tool that I believe all Americans need. I strongly believe that. It's by far your best home defense weapon that you can pick. And might as well have the best to defend your home with. Again, I know there's, I believe people should have a truck gun. I believe people should have a concealed carry gun. But I strongly believe everybody should have a home defense shotgun in their toolbox. No questions asked. I mean, if you have one, great. If you don't, go get one this weekend. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight on this? Definitely put it below. Do want to take a moment, say most people watch this channel, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.